So I watched the new live action Lilo and Stitch and I actually liked it. I know. Before y'all start throwing tomatoes at me, let me explain. I wasn't even planning to see this movie at first, but it actually looked more interesting than most of the Disney live action remakes. Plus, my girlfriend is a huge Lilo and Stitch fan, so we hit the theater to check it out. I didn't really grow up loving the show or the movie like some people. To me, Lilo and Stitch was just like there. Like it'll be on TV sometimes and I'll check it out, watch a couple episodes, and then back to SpongeBob. But before we get into the actual review, let's talk about Disney remakes altogether, because the internet has been dragging this movie through the mud. And frankly, I will not stand for it. Everyone always complains that remakes are just shot-for-shot recreations, that they bring nothing new to the table. But then the second anything is changed, people get mad anyway. Like, you can't have it both ways. Personally, I prefer when there are slight changes, as long as they don't ruin the story. I'd rather see a different angle, a new interpretation, or a fresh emotional beat than just a carbon copy in a new art style. Even something like Nani deciding to give Lilo up at the end. Yeah, that's different from the original, but it also takes the story in a different direction. It opens up new feelings, new stakes. Why would anyone want to watch the same exact movie, just with different voices and a new look? If I wanted that, I'd just watch the original. And honestly, it seems like they're gearing up for a sequel anyway. And if that's the case, then a lot of the stuff that people didn't like in this one is probably going to be corrected in the next one. There's still time for Jumba to grow into a more likable character. There's still time for Gantu to join the cast. There's still way more story to be told. This doesn't feel like a one and done remake. It feels like the beginning of something. So instead of writing it off, maybe just give it a chance to build. All right, let's get into the review, but also I do want to let you guys know there will be spoilers. Going in, I didn't really have any super high expectations or any really low ones either. I was kind of just like, let's see where this goes. I came in with an open mind and I wanted to see where it was going to go. At first, I was nervous. The other aliens, they looked gross. Like, not in a cool alien way, more like they'd melt if you left them in the sun. But as it went on, I was surprised. It turned out to be really fun to watch. Not perfect, but not nearly as bad as the internet was making it seem. Let's talk characters. Lilo was actually really sweet, not annoying, solid job for a child actor. Nani, I didn't like her at first, but by the end, she grew on me. She actually felt like a real sister. Stitch though, his design was perfect. His personality was on point. The movement, the voice, everything, all of it just felt right. Now Jumba? Nah. His voice did not match his body size. His voice did not sound like it was coming from a big, giant alien monster. It sounded like a nerdy teenager or something. It sounds like he plays like Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons. No offense, I play D&D too. Pleakley though? Pleakley killed it. Scene stealer, no notes. Pleakley was almost the star of the movie. I didn't like it at first either. When I saw the trailer, I had zero hope for Pleakley. He turned that around insanely well. Also, Cobra Bubbles. They split his original character into two people. Mrs. Kikoa as the social worker and Bubbles as the CIA agent. I actually liked the casting. It worked for me. Visually, at first, I hated it. It looked too real. I know it's live action. I don't know what I mean either. But over time, it started to grow on me. Honestly, it looked as good as it possibly could have. Stitch's CGI was beautiful. I don't care what anyone says. It looked fire all the way through the movie, even in this scene. And it actually felt like it took place in Hawaii. If it wasn't filmed there, they absolutely fooled me because that looks like it's filmed in Hawaii. Only real flaw is that some of the locations didn't feel big or cinematic enough, but that's minor. The music kind of surprised me a little bit. I was expecting at least a couple of original Disney songs, but they used a lot of real world music, Elvis especially. I know that's in the original, but it still surprised me. Like, does Disney own Elvis's music or something? Here's what's weird. The original was all about fighting for your family. This one felt more like accepting that family can be distant or gone. It hit me though. I've lost people before, And the emotions that Nani's actress portrayed in the film felt really real and relatable, at least to me. The alien stuff and the emotional stuff was balanced pretty well. I wish there was more alien stuff, but the story still worked. It probably wouldn't have worked with more alien stuff. I'm a kid. But there was a confusing part. The portal scene with Nani visiting Lilo, but they still have to keep all of this a secret. It didn't fully make sense to me, because why would they have to keep it a secret if everybody already knows that aliens exist and the technology exists? Why are they hiding it from Cobra Bubbles, and how does that work? And why does Nani have the thing, and is she gonna keep the thing? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. The top 3 moments for me were when Stitch was pretending to be a dog, when Jumba and Pleakley were learning how to walk, and when Stitch almost died. But it hit my girlfriend way harder than it hit me. I didn't really care. I didn't really get it, to be honest. It didn't look like Stitch was even sad about it. It didn't look like he was gonna die. It just looked like he was chilling. But, you know, she was sad. I'm not gonna lie though, there were some cringy moments. Like when their neighbor said the little joke or whatever, and then she paused for the audience laughter, but nobody in the theater laughed. That was awkward. That made me cringe. This movie actually makes me want to go back and watch the original. Not in a bad way like the other ones where it's like, man, I wish I was watching the original instead of this right now. No, it's just, if everybody says that this great movie is not as good as the original, then I gotta see the original. Maybe I've been sleeping on it. Do I think that this adds anything to the Lilo and Stitch legacy? Low-key, yes. It's probably my favorite live action remake so far because it had movie energy, not that Disney Plus original feel, or the typical trash live action remake that nobody likes. It just didn't give that vibe. It gave a really cool movie vibe. This is the first live action remake that I could see people having at home and watching again at home. It felt like a real movie. I don't think that I've felt that from a movie in a very long time, especially from Disney. I think they got their swagger back. I do think that this movie was targeted at kids and teens and stuff like that. I don't want to say teen girls because there's enough alien stuff for dudes to like it, and there's enough girly sister stuff for the girls to like it, and there's enough cutesy stuff to where the girls will love it, and then there's enough action and alien and gross stuff for boys to like it. Like, this is perfect for kids and teens and children like me. The random curse word, that was kind of stupid. But if you're a grown up and you like to hear curse words, you can watch this movie. It might be for you too. This was refreshing. It didn't feel like one of those Disney girl boss movies. It just felt like girls in a movie. That's amazing. That's really refreshing. It just felt like a good movie. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If you're on the fence about it, just go see it. They nailed the VFX, but some of the humor didn't land. The random curse words, the awkward jokes, and awkward silences. But I still think that the rest of the movie makes up for those spots. And I think if Disney stays on this track, it'll just get better and better and better. And now I have a new hope for these Disney live action remakes. If I could change one thing about this movie, it would be Jumba's voice actor. That voice just was not it. Sorry, Zach. No, I'm not. No. Gantu wasn't in it, but I didn't really miss him anyway. I'm sure he'll be in the sequel because this movie definitely gives the vibe like they're gearing up for a sequel because they knew it was going to be a slam. I mean, it is one. Final rating, 8 out of 10, a solid B. I would actually say a B+, maybe an A-. I don't know. I might be overreacting. It might just be a B. Everyone seems to hate this movie, but I think it's really, really good. Even though my girlfriend, who again is an extreme Lilo and Stitch fan, fell asleep like 4 times in the theater, but I stayed locked in the whole time because it was that good. If you saw the Lilo and Stitch remake, let me know what you thought. Am I tripping? Or are people just hating for no reason? By the way, me and YouTube think that you'll like this video, so click and see if we're right. And if this is your first time seeing my videos, hit the subscribe button and then click the bell icon to make sure that you get notified every single time that I release a new video. Click like and leave a comment and let me know what you want to see next. I talk about animation, media, and all the weird stuff that comes with it. And Mikey, out. Ohana, more like I wanna kill myself.